What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel where we look to cash in on some NFL underdog bets every week of the NFL season. I'm coming off a great week 10 of the NFL season where I went 5-1. If it wasn't for those Seattle Seahawks finally catching up to me and laying an egg against the Buccaneers, I would have had a perfect 6-0 record last week. I hit on the Vikings, the Steelers, the Packers, the Cardinals, the Chargers. Whiffed on that Seattle game. But you're only as good as your most recent week, so we turn the page and we move to week 11, where there are again lots of underdog bets to be made. This week we're riding with the Bears as 3.5-point underdogs against the Falcons. We're looking at the Jets as 3.5 underdogs against the Patriots. My Raiders as 2.5-point underdogs as they travel to Donkey Country. Steelers again home underdogs, being given 4 points against the Bengals. Vikings 1.5-point underdogs against the Cowboys, and the Chargers being given 6 points in the divisional game against the Chiefs. If you're new to my channel, please hit that like button for this video, subscribe to my channel, comment down below. You like my bets, you don't like my bets, you just want to talk some football. All comments are welcome. If you're new to my channel, let me explain what I do. I pick underdog bets every week of the NFL season, and I give you one stat explaining why I like the bet that I'm making. Let's start locking in some bets. We're starting off with the Bears as 3.5-point underdogs in Atlanta. Any Bears game now is just going to be about Justin Fields. This guy is taking over his draft class. Remember, he was drafted with Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Davis Mills. He seems to be making history every week he plays. Week 9 against the Dolphins, he's the first ever NFL player in history with 3 pass touchdowns and 150 rush yards a game. Week 10 versus the Lions, he's the first player in NFL history with 2 pass touchdowns, 2 rush touchdowns, and 100 rush yards in that game. But stat of the game for this game, Justin Fields is the leading rusher over the past 5 weeks. He has 555 yards over the past 5 weeks, most in the NFL. We're locking in the Bears as 3.5-point underdogs against the Falcons right now. Who would have thought I'd be betting the Jets as much as I have been betting them this season? But here we are. Jets, 3.5-point underdogs, traveling to New England. I know this is probably going to be a huge public side bet, but I don't think the Patriots are that great of a team. I think the Jets are finally better than them. The Jets have the best fourth quarter point differential in the NFL at plus 58, but the stat for this game is very easy. If the Jets beat the Patriots this Sunday, they will be in first place in their division. Congrats, Jets fans, if that happens. I'm backing the Jets as 3.5-point underdogs against the Patriots. I'm locking that bet in right now. We turn the page to my Raiders, 2.5-point underdogs against the Broncos. It's no secret that both these teams are not playing well right now. I'm clearly a Raiders fan, but I think anybody can see the fact that just something's broken with this Raiders team right now. I think this is a get-right spot for the Raiders because I don't think you get any lower than what happened last week for the Raiders against the Colts. When a team gets embarrassed the week before, normally I'm jumping on them the next week. It's no different with this Raiders team. This Broncos team is anemic. Their offense is anemic. Their defense is top tier. There's a stat that says if the Broncos had scored 18 points a game since week 1, they'd be something like 8-1 right now. But another reason I'm taking this game, and it's the stat of the game, Derek Carr, 11-5 against the spread versus the Broncos, is the most profitable opponent against the spread for Carr. And also against Denver, Derek Carr is 9-1 against the spread in his last 10 games. And they've won 5 consecutive games straight up. Get right spot for the Raiders. I'm backing the Raiders as 2.5-point underdogs. I'm going to lock that bet in right now. Steelers, 4-point home underdogs against the Bengals. We grabbed the Steelers last week and it paid off. I ended up biting on the money line as well. It was one of my better bets of the weekend. I feel like I keep pounding on this stat, but it's such a great go-to. Mike Tomlin, the underdog king of the NFL, 14-8 straight up and 16-3-3 against the spread in his career as a home underdog. The 16-3-3 against the spread mark as a home dog is the best of any head coach over the past 20 years. But stat of the game for this game, as a home underdog versus the AFC North, he's 5-0-2 against the spread. The Bengals are a good team, but you're giving me more than a field goal. Home field, Mike Tomlin. I'm backing the Steelers as 4-point home underdogs. I'm locking that bet in right now. We turn to the Vikings as 1.5-point underdogs against the Cowboys in Minnesota. This is definitely one of my least confident bets of this weekend. Kirk Cousins in 4 o'clock games does not usually fare well. I love backing him normally in those 1 o'clock spots. They're coming off a huge win against Buffalo, but They had a lot go their way, but I do think they stack up against the Cowboys pretty well. But stat of the game for this game, Minnesota, with their win percentage, they're just the 8th team to be a home underdog with a win percentage, what they have in November or later. Every team before them that's been a home underdog is 5-2 against the spread. Let's see how this one goes. I'm backing the Minnesota Vikings as 1.5 point underdogs against the Cowboys. I'm locking that bet in right now. We round out week 11. Another home underdog divisional game. The Chargers being given 6 points against the Chiefs. Chargers are pretty banged up, and I hate backing them as favorites, but I love Charger underdog bets. They are always in some tight games. On top of that, this is a divisional game. You're giving me more than 3.5 points. 6 is way too much in this game. Stat of the game for this game, Justin Herbert against the spread, 9-5 as an underdog, and he's 7-1 as an underdog of more than 3 points. The Chargers like to keep games close. They're always in these tight games. Backing the Chargers as 6-point underdogs against the Chiefs, locking that in right now. And that's it. My week 11 underdog picks for this weekend. To recap, we're going with the Bears, 3.5 point underdogs against the Falcons. The Jets, 3.5 point underdogs against New England. Raiders, 2.5 point underdogs against the Broncos. The Steelers, again, home underdogs being given 4 points against the Bengals. We got the Vikings as 1.5 point underdogs against the Cowboys. And we're rounding out week 11 with the Chargers being given 6 points against the Chiefs. Again, to everybody watching my channel, please subscribe, like this video, give me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of my bets. I've linked my other social media down below also. I do pick daily NHL and NFL picks right now. Everybody go lock in your bets. Go enjoy some week 11 football. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.